Welcome back to Power Hour. I'm your host, Veronica Valentino, and I am here with my amazing co-host, Miss Renee Rand. And today we have a powerful and important conversation lined up. So we are joined by our special guest, Robert Ferguson. He's going to be here with us today. He is an awesome clinical nutritionist. He's a researcher. He's a best-selling author and international speaker. And he currently serves on several national boards, including the Presidential Task Force on Obesity and the Health and Product Advisory Board for Enzino. And as we dive in today's topic, get ready for a powerful, no BS conversation about your health, your weight, and longevity. And it can have a major impact on your health. So you know what? We're diving into what's really been holding you back, what's actually works for sustainable weight loss, how to take control of your health now, starting now. This isn't hype. This is the conversation that, can really change your life. Right, Renee?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're so excited because we've been kind of scrolling around today. And Robert did a live earlier today. And so we're going to ask him a little bit about the Ozempic vagina while we're on here today as well. So I think we're going to add to the conversation. I think it's pretty interesting stuff.
You know what? So stay with us on this conversation. You don't want to miss it. And you know what? Like I said, even Renee said, Robert posted it about 40 minutes ago. So we really want to know what, is trending on Ozempic vagina. I know it's a special month, but we'll leave that till the end. And we're going to let you know about that. So, it's really crazy. And I'm really excited as we always are to have Robert here with us. So don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe. And thank you for all the, the thoughts and prayers last week. I know I missed it, but I am here with you now. So without further ado, we are going to bring on Mr. Robert Ferguson. Woo-hoo! Hey, Robert, how are you?
Well, it's I know I was running a little late. I got some technical, so I feel like do you see like a blur on this side?
Yeah.
I don't know where that's coming from.
That's okay. We love you whether you're clear as a bell or a little
I'll just stay over here.
Okay.
I'll stay on that side.
Here, we can see it clearer, or I would be your left side.
Okay. But it's okay. So for anyone, if you're thinking it's your camera, it's not. It's something going on with my camera. I don't get it. So maybe it'll clear up as we spend time together. I don't know.
Yeah. What's happening?
You know what? Today, let me vent for. Can I vent for a moment?
Yes,
absolutely.
This is all natural.
Well, venting is not always a negative.
Right.
Nope. You're right.
So I'm thing to help get women healthier.
Mm-hmm.
And the original focus was to create something for Black women specifically.
Right.
Because if you look at every ethnicity in the United States of America, Black women are dying more and faster than any other ethnic group.
Mm-hmm.
They are more likely to get Alzheimer's, more likely for breast cancer, more likely for you name it, amputation, type 2 diabetes, blood pressure, obesity. They are leading the charge. And my thought has always been to address that, because if it was Asian women, I would be talking about the same thing.
Right.
If it was Italian women, I would be like, look, we got to help our Italian sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you help whoever's dying the fastest, or that's the disparity is pointing toward one group, if you help that group, then that means you can reverse it and help all groups.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thinking behind it, right? So it's not like, I turned into Malcolm X overnight.
Okay.
Right. It's more like, but when you see a disparity, and I've always been against bullies. Like, I don't like when people are bullied.
Right.
And with weight loss and all the things we talk about, I feel like there's a certain part of that people are bullied because they're not informed.
Absolutely.
Right. So anyway, where I was venting is a positive, like one of a very famous, very respected physician. No, she's not a physician. She's a doctor. She has a doctorate. But she came on board today.
Mm.
And
Awesome.
so I have this growing list of people that are coming on board.
Mm-hmm.
So we're up to like 9 on the panel. The
Wow.
goal is to get 12.
Awesome.
And I'm trying to be like Jesus.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
Okay. So I need 12 disciples, if you know what I'm talking about.
There you go.
And you know, like with those 12, one of them is going to betray me.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
Judas in every group.
Oh yeah. I know exactly who the Judas is. I'm gonna kiss Judas right on the cheek, and everybody's gonna. Then everybody's gonna know.
Everybody's gonna know.
But anyway, no. So that group is growing and it's really exciting. And I think it's exciting for our team as we are helping to get the word out about balance oil,
Right.
because
Absolutely.
I'm strengthening our team in Canada.
Awesome.
And it just so happens that the team we're strengthening in Canada that's going to start to take off in a big way,
Right.
is already part of you guys' team.
I
Nice.
love it.
Oh yeah. So it's about to get
Real.
it's getting real. It's getting real. And for those
Awesome.
of you who know these two ladies, you listen in, get involved now. Don't put off getting the balance test. Don't put off getting the balance oil. If you've ever thought about having like a side business, just this is the one.
Yep.
And so I just want to share one last thing, and then we can dive in, because I know you guys want to talk vagina today.
That's all right. We have something that goes hand in hand with that.
That's right.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this gentleman, but his name is Neil deGrasse Tyson. Do you know who that is?
Neil deGrasse. The
If you
name
saw
sounds
him-
familiar.
Yeah, like if you saw him, he's a black guy. He's a very highly respected scientist.
Okay.
And he shared something, and it really resonated with me. And in a lot of the things that I'm going to lead with, I want to share his quote. And so I'm going to share it right now.
Okay.
This is what he said, quote, "Knowing enough to think you're right, but not enough to know you're wrong, that's where the problem happens."
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was prophetic.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And I throw myself into that. So again, knowing enough to think you're right. So think of all the people that you know, that they know enough, they think they're right, but not enough to know you're wrong.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is the big
Wow.
part. Like, I've been living that way for years, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always looking for what am I missing? Where am I falling short? What is it that I don't know?
Right.
I really want to know where I'm wrong. And he says that's where the problem happens. And so if you're looking for resolve, right, whether it's losing weight, whether it's improving your health, reducing inflammation, like most people get stuck in the first part, right? Knowing
Right.
enough to think you're right. And so they'll go down this path, this rabbit hole, because they think that they're right. But they don't know enough to realize that they're wrong.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's why they're stuck. Because if you got, let's say that we all wanted to have a solution for, let's say, better sex life at home, and you're in love with your husband or your wife or whoever, your partner. There's got to be some things that are solid as far as what's right. And instead of guessing your way, why not get with people who all are looking, the consensus is we're looking for something that settles, something that is the truth. And that's kind of where I'm living. And that's where I think many people will never, ever optimize their health, because they don't get what I just mentioned.
Right.
So I think you're right. I think you are right.
Yeah, I mean, it's his quote. I saw it and I was like, man, that says everything. Because, like, one of my big gripes over the years is why can't we get all the weight loss experts who are proven to be on track, but they have different ways of thinking? Can we get them on a panel?
Mm.
And let's just start with one thing. Let's see, like, can we agree on one thing? And then before we go to the next thing, agree on the first thing. So that even if we only agree on the first thing and the consensus, everybody agrees, at that point, we made progress. Because then there's no more like lack of clarity. There's like we
Right.
have clarity, right? So it's like if we could agree that that protein, a certain amount of protein, for instance, is beneficial, then what is that amount? Do we all agree? And if if it's yes, then that means yes. Anyway, that's
Love
what
it.
Amen.
Yep.
Amen.
Profound. I love it. Okay.
All right. So now, what area do we want to hop on? We had a great live on Saturday, and there were so many things to talk about. And we said we would continue a little bit today, and then, like I said, I just saw your live that you posted about Ozempic vagina, and I thought, well, we can throw that in the middle of it as well.
There's
Since
nothing
it
wrong
does
with
have to, no, since it does have to do with losing weight,
Yeah.
you know, some of the you know, effects or causes or what it relates to is in there. So we can definitely talk about that. And I think it's going to be a great addition to today's call. So let's do it.
Let's dive in.
Hold on. Let's see.
Okay, we were talking about all
I'm a little delayed there. Okay.
There you go. We were talking about, you know, like Veronica brought up the fact that whatever you choose to do, you know, you start now and you be consistent. And by being consistent and starting now and having some basic information, you're going to get some results.
Right.
So, and I think we all agreed on that. And whatever you choose to do that's right for you changes dramatically over the years. I had mentioned that I had done, when I was 22 years old, I had done Weight Watchers and I lost 200 pounds in a year. And I kept it off for 5 years. And the second year, I lost 50 inches, no more weight, but I lost 50 inches working out after I lost the 200 pounds. Because obviously I couldn't exercise when I weighed 400 pounds because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So, you know, so everybody comes at a different place and a different time to what they need to fit into their life to make it work for them. You know, I find people, I had a discussion the other day with a friend that said she's too busy to diet. Well, my question was, do you eat? And she said, yes. And I said, well, then it's a difference of picking the right things to eat compared to what you're throwing down or driving through a fast food restaurant or making better choices. I mean, there are possibilities no matter what your lifestyle is that you can get on track and make a difference for your health. And remember, food is medicine. So if we're talking about do-overs, or we're talking about straightening out our health, or we're talking about moving forward, it's all positive as long as you're doing something.
Yep.
And starting somewhere. So, Robert, you know, what would you throw into, you know, if we were doing a do-over and somebody was telling you that they just don't have time, what would you say?
If they don't have time for what part?
To eat the right food, to diet.
I think many people, the longer we live, the more baggage we have.
Okay.
And when you have baggage, you start to get ahead of yourself and create what you think the experience will be, even though you don't have the experience. Does that make sense?
Okay. That makes sense.
because that goes back to what Dr. Degrassi was saying.
Mm.
Knowing enough to think you're right, but not enough to know you're wrong. That's where the problem is. And that's where I believe most people are stuck. So they do nothing, or they just jump on something to just fill the void because they rather say they're doing something than to do nothing. Right. So I know for a fact that the women that I coach, and I was on a call with the 3 of my former clients today, when I pulled up their old records 3, 4, 5 years ago, we were making progress. They were doing really well.
Mm.
But then somewhere, and it wasn't financial, they quit having me as their coach. Not that they need me as their coach, but we had something that was working. And I'm a big believer, if something is working, you work it.
Mm.
Absolutely.
And they stopped doing it. Now, one of them stopped because their daughter kept saying, you know what to do. You're doing great. You don't need a coach. And they got talked out of being like working with me.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, and that happens a lot. And then the other ones are like, well, I feel like I got it. You know, I want it. They feel like they need to be able to do it on their own. And it's not about doing it on your own, because everything that you do is on your own. The smart thing is, if you have a coach, whether it's an accountant that's your coach, whether it's a business coach, whether it's a vocal coach, maybe a dance coach, like Michael Jackson had dance coaches his whole career.
Mm.
You could be great at what you're doing, but why is it that we lack the humility to be able to reason and to see the value in getting someone to be in your corner to keep pushing you ahead and forward?
I agree. I think that's an important thing in life. When you recognize that there's help out there and you don't take advantage of it, I think that's, well, it's selling yourself short.
Mm.
Because I want all the tools that I can use when I'm working on a project or I'm doing something. I feel like that has moved me forward so much in my life to do the things I wanted to do. And so, I think it makes a difference. And let's see, Barb is asking, while you are speaking about previous clients, what was your framework for getting someone back on track after they fall out of their routine? Great question, Barb.
Get back as soon as we start talking.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's really, I mean, I'm telling you, it's really that simple. Like, I had a lady, well, actually 2 ladies today, that used to be my client. I got on the phone and I said, okay, so we did this 3 years ago. We're going to start off like this for the first week. Here's a link to schedule our call for next week. At that point, they're now scheduled to have that follow-up call. That means they're going to check in instead of just floating. So there's no reason to float and just guess and hope. You now have accountability in place. And once you have accountability in place, you automatically are going to do better. Right? Like if I have a call set up with Veronica, and Veronica's goal is to lose 10 pounds, she knows that we're going to check in, and part of the check-in, she's got to tell me what her weight is, like all of that. Well,
Right.
She doesn't want to let herself down.
Mm-hmm.
And we know through many psychological components, I don't know if it's the Harrington study. There's a study, and it'll come to me if it's not the Harrington. But what they discovered in this study was that if a person knows they're going to check in with their doctor in a week, they automatically eat better for a week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because they know that when they go see the doctor, you're stepping on the scale, we're checking your blood pressure,
Yep.
and all of that plays a role. And some people will put off going to see their doctor because they want to get some momentum with their health and their weight.
Right.
So knowing that, you automatically put yourself in a position to succeed. Now, Tony Robbins knows this. All the very successful people that we know of as far as business and making money, they all know this.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who we would love to take advantage of this, they will put off getting a coach or getting someone that they can check in with. And as a result, a year will go by, they'll be in the same spot.
Right.
Same spot. Nothing moves. Nothing changes if
I
nothing
think-
changes.
Yeah, I think one of the things that helps me is my mindset. this is not a diet, it's a healthy lifestyle that I chose to change. And I love the fact that I eat to live, I don't live to eat. So that's
Agree.
it's one of the big things. People don't think about that, and they don't take into consideration, the food that they buy, and I think, let me send him a quick little link. He should be able to click that link. We lost Robert for a second.
I know.
He not only got blurry, we lost him.
Well, I noticed that in the drive, my go-to food for driving used to be salted pretzels
Mm-hmm.
because the salt would when it hit my tongue, it would kind of wake me up.
Yeah.
Well, now it's, it's a protein drink. It's cherry tomatoes. It's little things that I can have sitting in the front of the seat with me when I'm driving so that I can, stay on track, not get too hungry, not let my blood sugar drop. So I mean, there are a lot of things that are different that I went in to go to the bathroom at one of my stops along the way,
Right.
and I didn't even consider, having a soda or doing pretzels or picking out something that wasn't healthy because, well,
Yeah.
number one, I was already prepared. And number
Right.
two, it no longer interests me because it's a different lifestyle I live today.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I stay prepared, even though when you think healthy lifestyle, I'll have grape tomatoes or I'll have carrots because still in the back of my mind is that Weight Watcher thinking.
Right.
I don't drink soda. I drink water all the time. I've actually switched from coffee to green tea, which I actually like better. Or, and at nighttime I'll get, chamomile tea or something like that. Let's see.
Okay, I'm here. Sorry about that, you guys.
That's okay.
There's
That's all
something
right.
going on.
You're back.
There's something going on.
But we can hear you.
We can hear you.
I think it has something. The government does not want us to talk about Ozempic vagina. That's what it is.
That might be it. That's right. Because, we're kind of setting up for the future. What's going to happen to that weird drug?
Hey, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up.
That's
Well,
all right.
we do have some more questions popping in, but we'll
Yeah,
wait
let's
for you to
see
get
what we
back
got
on here.
here. You want us to hold those questions, or do you?
Let's go. Let's
Okay, here we go. Next one. Paula is asking, do most people fail because their diet is too complicated?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you don't want a diet. What you want is a way to eat.
Right.
That's right.
That is something you can live with, right? So there's a study done by the National Weight Control Registry, which is really interesting. And I wish more people knew about this. But they looked at people who have lost anywhere from 30 to 300 pounds and have kept the weight off for over 10 years. And across the board, the consensus is clear. If you eat the way you eat when you lose the weight is the way you want to eat after you lose it.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
Yep.
Now, as simple as that is, the average person does not know what that means.
Well, Robert, the word diet in itself makes people automatically think it means you're eating certain things to lose weight. But the word diet just means whatever you're consuming. It has nothing to do with the fact you lose or gain weight. Diet just means what you're partaking in. So I think when we say diet out there in the long run, sometimes people don't understand. We're just talking about what are we consuming? What is it doing to our health? How can we make it a difference? So, but I agree with you. I think you have to keep those good lifestyle choices going. And yeah, I was noticing that when I was traveling yesterday. So yeah, it's true.
A lot of people don't think about being prepared while they're on the road or traveling or flying. They'll just get what is available to them, and taking a bag of cucumbers or carrot sticks or little grape tomatoes or, something that's a little bit more healthy. And again, it's the healthy lifestyle that they need to change.
Can you hear
That's
me
what.
okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. Can't see you,
Okay,
but we
sorry.
can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Well, here's something to keep in mind. If you look at the English dictionary, yes, diet means how we eat.
Right.
But the world doesn't look at diet, the word diet, what it's
Correct.
up, and nothing but the negatives.
Right.
So it doesn't have a literal meaning. The meaning it takes on how people think of diet, it has a negative connotation to it.
All right. We have another question, Renee.
All right. Well, Kayla is asking, where do you see people over optimizing instead of just being consistent?
Okay, ask that question again.
Sure. Kayla's asking, where do you see people over optimizing instead of just being consistent?
That's a good question, and I get an idea of where she's coming from. So here's what I know to be true. Anyone who begins any kind of diet, anyone who begins a diet,
Mm-hmm.
they are optimistic. Anyone. So everybody begins a diet with optimism. They believe that this is going to be it. This is the final step. I'm going to be successful. This is going to make sense, etc. So everybody begins with optimism. Everybody.
And then they go awry when they make different choices, or they go back to their old habits, or choose to do something
Well,
different,
I mean,
correct?
because because we're trained from a conventional standpoint to go in knowing we're going to give up things we like. So you go in with the mindset of a diet, and everybody's conditioned that way because it's always been that way. You don't go into a diet going, I'm going to have pork ribs tonight for dinner, unless you're giving up bread and pasta and all those things.
Right.
Right?
Good point. I always look for what can I create. I'm a creative eater. I did an avocado with Parmesan cheese and an egg yesterday, and I made bread out of it on parchment paper and then used that for my sandwich, my tuna sandwich. And it came out great. It was so good, but it was way too filling yesterday. So I'm going to make my rounds that I put my sandwich on a lot smaller when I make them. And it was easy. So, but I'm looking for solutions. I'm looking for desserts that are sugar-free and would fit into what I need for my diet.
Right.
So, and when I continue doing these things, once I figure out something, it's not like I try it once and abandon it. Well, I guess I would if I didn't like it, but normally it's something that I'll carry on into eating in the future regardless, because if I came up with a solution that was a better choice, I'm going to keep doing it. That makes sense to me. To me, that's the intelligent choice to make.
Yeah, I play around with foods too. Like I baked up a spaghetti squash and I threw some onions and tomatoes in there, and I just, instead of eating spaghetti, it's just, I like to experiment. We have another question for you, Robert. Faith is asking, do you think inconsistency is more often a planning problem or a psychological one?
Question.
I would say both, and a convenience one.
Okay.
Right. So, for instance, like if I'm coaching a client, then one of my goals is to help them make their life in the way they eat convenient. If you don't make it convenient, then you're going to fall for almost anything, and you're going to go with convenience outside of what's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So convenience, number one, a basic example would be have in the refrigerator the things that you know you'll eat.
Right.
That's making your life convenient.
Right.
If you're traveling in a car, like I've helped people who are car salesmen and they're in the car and they're traveling a lot, then I make it where I say, hey, I want you to go to the store, keep this in your purse, keep this in your glove box. Like some of my clients, they have like little coolers they keep in the back of the back seat on the floor. And at any time they can reach back there, get an apple, they can get an energy bar, they have a sandwich that's sitting there. They made it convenient for themselves.
Okay.
So if you're proactive and you put all those things in place, then you're in a position to win. But
Agreed.
it helps to have a second set of ears, a second set of eyes, a second set of someone that's sitting there saying, hey, here's how you are successful. So why wouldn't someone get a coach who knows how to help a person be successful?
Right.
So if I take on a client, then I know how to help them win.
Right.
But why is it that you have all these people that they don't see the value in a coach and they're trying to do it on their own?
Well, I think the accountability part is the most important thing there. You know, if you have somebody that you're accountable to and they're coaching you on successful things to do to complete your mission, whatever your mission is, whether it's dieting or it's something else, the accountability, I think, is a big part of that to being successful.
Absolutely.
And I don't know why they wouldn't go ahead and pay a coach to do that.
Well, I don't know. My phone's not ringing right now.
All right. So
I mean, hey, think about it. These people are asking questions, but they're not asking for my email. They're not saying, all right, coach, I'm ready to do this, because people get in their own way. I'm telling you.
Right. Absolutely.
And a whole year will go by, you know. So think about it. When Linda, who you guys have heard me talk about,
yes,
she didn't want to call me. She did not want to call me, but one of her friends, who was also my client, he says, Linda, just call him. I'm telling you, I mean, it'll be good for you. So at 249 pounds, at 63 years old, she called me.
Yeah.
Now she's 125 pounds, and I still coach her. So she had a good friend that said, hey, call Robert, get on the plan. It'll work out for you, because he had just lost 50 pounds. So think about it. If he wasn't there to encourage her, she would have never called me.
I think
that's
too.
true. I like the way that you're going back and checking in with these people, because that in itself could be motivating. You know, if you cared enough a couple years later to check in with them to see how they're doing, that might be enough motivation for them to, you know, get started again.
I think there's the embarrassment too, like they didn't
That they might
hold
let
it
them
up,
down.
and you know, it's just like, oh, I didn't follow through. I got to start all over again. Or I didn't follow through with this. I got to start all over again. You know, with your especially like with your repeat women mainly who join Weight Watchers every year. The first of the year, they got the big sale. I'm going to try again. So I can understand that. Renee, we got another question there.
Let's see. Yeah, Lacey's asking, how do you define consistency in a measurable way, weekly adherence, meal timing, or calorie range?
How do I define? Okay, there was a lot in that.
How do you define consistency in a measurable way, weekly, when it comes to meal timing and calorie range?
Okay. So I can only go by how I coach people. So like she's asking questions based on not knowing how to eat. Like she doesn't know our methodology. You follow me? So that's an example of how everybody's guessing. And if you're guessing, it goes back to what Neil Rossi said in the very beginning. We're in a place where people are just guessing instead of just stopping, gaining real clarity, and doing what is going to help you not only in the short term, but in the long term. But everybody's, I don't know what you call that. Like it's like I wrote an article today that I posted, and I talked about the Trinity.
Yes, I saw
And
that.
and my whole goal was I didn't understand the Trinity for a very long time.
Right.
And I would go to church and I would hear them talk about it, but no one explained it where it made sense. And then I took the time to get it, and then I wanted to share it because I believe my goal is to help other people who believe in the Trinity, and even people who don't, but to understand exactly what it is.
Right.
And so I wrote it, and that's how I see nutrition, and that's how I see health.
Good point.
All right.
Good
Yeah,
point.
absolutely. It was a good read. I read it. It was actually a really great read. All right. I don't see any other questions for the do-over diet, but I think, if we could take this time, I think we would love to check out, the Ozempic vagina that's trending. Let's clear something up right away. Let's take this opportunity to discuss this as well. Robert?
Yes.
I also put
was there I don't know, was there a question in that?
No, we wanted to talk about
We just want to discuss it.
Yeah, we want to discuss this.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's go.
All right, go for it.
All right. So you put in there that it's not a medical condition, but there were some facts about it that you were sharing in that live that you did. So can you share some of those facts with us?
Okay. So when people get on some of these drugs, okay, number one, you're not eating. You're malnourished. The reason why you lose weight is you're not eating. Because the drug, GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic, they numb your reward center. So you lose desire for eating, you lose desire for alcohol, you lose desire for sex, you lose desire for a lot of things. And so it doesn't just affect your desire for food. And as a result, when the drug is working, the weight loss can be rapid. And when it's rapid, many people experience what they call Ozempic face. And everybody can see you look very gaunt. You look like you're on meth. You look like you're on drugs. It's not healthy looking. And then they have Ozempic butt. A lot of people lose their butt. It gets really flat. Now, some people want a flat butt, and they'll be happy with that. But a lot of people, they don't want to lose their butt. But that's part of rapid weight loss. And then you see the saggy skin, which once you lose that weight and you get the saggy skin, there's no going back. And that's one of the benefits of when you lose weight gradually and slowly. It gives your body a chance, the elasticity, to kind of keep up with the loss. And now we have more people complaining about Ozempic vagina because, there's fat down there. And when you lose weight, you can't pick where you lose it.
Right.
Also muscles. There's muscles down there. And a big part of the weight loss people experience is, not just skeletal muscle, but muscle everywhere. Okay. And now, unfortunately, many people have lost the desire to have sex because that's part of what Ozempic will do. But for those who are still doing it, they're discovering some changes in that part of their body. And the cosmetic surgeons and the people that can do, vaginal rejuvenation and other things like that, they're getting more business because same as women are. A lot of people are getting business. People are getting booties placed in. People are getting fat injected in their face so they don't look as gaunt. So it's created more jobs, more money for other industries.
Right. Now, does that happen along with your healthy lifestyle, weight loss diets?
That doesn't happen. I've never had a client ever come to me and say, "Hey, can we talk about something?"
I would have never thought the fat loss in the vaginal area.
I experienced that in my 40s.
Okay.
I had gained a good portion of my weight back and then lost it again. And my skin from my stomach was all the way down to my knees.
Ooh,
So I
okay.
actually had to pick it up and tuck it in my pants every day. And so eventually I had an appointment to cut off that extra skin. And it was interesting when I talked to the surgeon, she says, "Don't you want to wait till you get skinny?"
Ah!
And I said, no, I want to get rid of this extra skin that I have to tuck into my pants every day. And she goes, "Oh, well, I make great belly buttons." I said, "I don't want a belly button. I want you to cut the skin off that's hanging down to my knees, not so I have a flat stomach because I was still a big girl, but so that I didn't have folds and folds of skin that didn't know what to do with." And so I had that done. I don't have a belly button. That's actually my identifying mark. I don't have a belly button. And, I've been very happy with that. So that's not an issue anymore, but it does happen. And it depends on how you're dieting. When I lost that original weight, I didn't have that problem, even though I lost that huge amount of weight, because even though it came off very quickly because I had so much to lose, I think exercising when I could start exercising made a difference. And I was in my 20s. In my 40s, that wasn't happening. So, and at 71, it's definitely not happening now. So, but that's okay.
But you still look amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, Lordy. Okay.
Oh, Tony has a question. Okay. When fat loss occurs rapidly on drugs like Ozempic, how much of that loss is typically fat versus lean muscle? And how can patients protect that muscle?
Well, according to the Journal of American Medical Association, JAMA, they estimate about 40% comes from lean body mass, which is where your skeletal muscle is.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot. The thing that you can do to reduce that is exercise, specifically resistance training, and make sure you eat enough protein. Now, the challenge is eat when you have no desire to eat.
Right.
The other challenge is exercise when you don't have the nutrients to support exercise. Like, this is so crazy to me that I just feel like the world, we either have completely lost our ability to learn, our comprehension skills are absolutely horrible. People don't even know how to think anymore. Like, you're not, all right, think about this. Can a professional athlete get on the GLP-1 drug?
No.
No. How
that would be terrible for a professional athlete.
Well, think of it. I mean, if it's terrible for anybody.
Yeah.
That's the part that is mind-blowing to me, that no one is sitting back thinking about the obvious. Like, is everybody, have we just lost our ability to think? I mean, it's mind-blowing to me. Like, it's hard to even, and everybody's walking around like zombies. Like, I mean, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, no one knows, there's no logic. If you bring in any logic, but yet 30 million people are doing GLP-1 drugs.
Right.
We have lost our minds.
Well, we've spoken about this before, Robert, and like diet crazes and diet drugs in the past that have come on the market and eventually get taken off the market. Are we forecasting that this is going to fall in that category eventually?
Say that again?
Well, we talked about in the past when we were on a call talking about different diets and different products that they've used to lose weight over the years. We talked about the fact that many of them would be on the market for a short period of time, and then something would happen, or people would die, or people would have bad side effects, and then they would pull it from the market until they came up with something else. Are we looking that that's what's going to happen with these GLP-1s?
I think it's going to be, I don't think they're going to pull it off the market for type 2 diabetics, but I think the weight loss, I think they're going to pull the weight loss versions off the market.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's my prediction. Because they have enough for the type 2 diabetics. I just think it's going to change. I mean, I do think. Well, here's another thing to keep in mind. Novo Nordisk, who are the manufacturers of Ozempic and Wegovy, the FDA recently served them a letter, and this is all public record, that asked them to start reporting on how many people are dying from being on the drugs. And
That
Eli
would be
Lilly,
important information to have.
Yeah.
well, so I would tell people, ask yourself this: why does the FDA have to send a letter to ask them to report that?
Because they're making so much money off of it right now. They're not going to go and remove it off the market unless they start seeing these people come forward with these issues.
Right. But you have people who you think are wise that can hear me say this, they can look it up, and you're willing to take a drug and they're not reporting the death. Like who would take a drug and the company is using the government to shield themselves and they don't even have to report who's dying from it?
Pretty crazy. In fact, Karen is asking, do you think that the body adapts in a way that makes maintaining weight loss harder once the medication is stopped?
So I'm assuming we're still talking about GLP-1 drugs.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we are.
Okay. So if you're on a GLP-1 drug, okay, one, it would help if everybody knew how the drugs work. Number two, right, which means you're not eating. And I'm sharing with everybody that it affects your reward center in your brain. Like, what do I got to, can you two help me? Like, what do I need to say to get people to hear we are messing with your brain with this drug?
Yeah.
I hear, and we're trying to get people on the balance wheel.
Well, help me understand. Like, tell me where I'm missing it. What
Oh, I
person
don't
in
think
their
you're.
right mind
I don't think.
take a
I
drug?
don't. Yeah, I don't think you're missing it at all. I talk to people quite often that are taking that chance with their life, and I don't understand it. I tried Ozempic when the doctor said, "Oh, we need to try this for your diabetes," and I did it 1 week, and that was it for me. I not only did I read the side effects, but I experienced some of the side effects on the first injection. I said, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I don't care how much you think this is going to help change things in my life. You know, I know better by the way my body's reacting to this. So that was it for me. But I think sometimes at that point, I was still a little bit more invested in my doctor's opinion than I am today.
I think a lot of times the people really don't wean themselves off of it. They just want to continue taking it, and I think they're infatuated with the fact that, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, I've heard someone say that to me, like, oh, this is the best thing. You know, come by. I lost the weight. They're still injecting themselves. I think it's crazy. I
do too.
We have a follow-up question from Karen. What does a responsible exit strategy from drugs like Ozempic look like nutritionally?
Good question.
Well, I can speak to that because right now I have about 11 clients that are on Ozempic, and they're transitioning off. So they came to me for that goal. So I have them eating a certain way, and as they're tapering down on their dosage or they've come off of it, then they have me in place so we have accountability. You know, certain cravings are starting to come back, and then I'm there to help coach them through it.
Right.
I think your phone should be ringing off the hook just for that reason, Robert. I think this is such an important issue that if you're listening to this today and maybe you did not realize what's jeopardizing your health, on these GLP-1 drugs. It's time to get a coach. It's time to call Robert and get a coach and make that change before something drastic happens to your health.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Do we have any other questions in there, Veronica?
No, that was a follow-up question. No, we're good.
Okay.
We had quite a few people. And
Yeah.
the screen is lighting up, and like hopefully they'll listen to us. I know. You want to give a little plug in there for the balance oil, Robert? I mean, because I know people are messing with their brains, and I know that our balance oil can help with their brains.
Well, it's interesting. I was talking to a lady today who's a new client, and she goes, "Okay, so tell me about this balance oil." And it was interesting because I was like, I need to remember how I answer this so I could share this when we had this call, and then share it with other people on our team.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because I was like, okay, she's really smart. She knows a lot about nutrition. She's really been wanting to take care of herself. She actually has HIV and has had it for many years, and she's done really well. So she doesn't just put anything in her body, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I said, and this is how I opened it up. I said, before I tell you what balance oil is, I just want you to know that everyone that you know, every person that I know, would benefit from balance oil. And anybody in their right mind, once they know what I know and they didn't take balance oil, I don't have another word except for that would be just stupid.
Yeah.
It's that important. I said, it's that important. And I said, and before I give you the breakdown of exactly what it is and how it works, I said, in 1960, we didn't have a problem where you needed balance oil.
Right.
Like no one. I said, so with the changes in food, the changes in industry, the changes in pollution, the changes in everything that we all experience and live in, everybody now needs it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, okay, well, tell me about it. And then I went into explaining it about it. And
that was a good opening. That's a great way to open because that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where we started. And I just said, hey, you're going to get a test. You're going to find out what your numbers are. And then you're going to get another test, and you're going to see that taking it has improved your numbers on the blood level. So it's not my opinion. It's not your opinion. This is just the truth. And then she was like, all right, I want to do it. And
there you go.
She became my customer.
Woohoo!
Love it.
All right. Wait a minute, where's my here, hold on. Here we go.
Very cool.
Well, there you go. Hey, and that's why, hey, everybody, you can go to Renee and Veronica, get your test, get your balance oil. If you're taking any supplements, I would almost say stop taking whatever you're taking and just start from scratch, and everybody benefits from balance oil.
Yes, test, don't guess. I'll tell you, that's amazing. You know what?
So true.
I have got to, I know Renee and I thank you so much for being here with us again, because we get so much great information and we want to pass that along. And you know what? Next week on PowHER Hour podcast, as you know, it is National Masturbation Month. Yes, we said it. National Masturbation Month. And you know what? You already know we're not dodging this conversation. Next episode, we're getting real about breaking weird taboos, confidence, stress relief, and mental health. The stuff people think, but they don't say out loud. There's no awkward lectures, no fake expert energy, just honest, hilarious, unfiltered talk the way PowHER Hour does it. Pull up, press play, mind open, because if you can't laugh and learn about it, what are we even doing? Renee, you want to add to that?
I absolutely do. You know, we're going to have fun next week. We're going to not only talk about masturbation because it's National Masturbation Month, but we're going to talk about masturbation with or without your partner.
Yeah.
So you want to add a little excitement to your relationship and to the bedroom, come check in with us. That's you know, how we're going to kind of approach it, as well as go over some of the science behind why it's so good to make sure that that's happening on a regular basis.
Yeah,
So
you
we're
want
going
to
to
have an
take advantage
orgasm a
of it.
day.
I think we're also going to give away a romance package on next week's call. So be present
Yes.
if you want an opportunity to win. And we'll give away some self-care, some self-fun things in a package and get you going. And Robert, again, thank you so much for being here with us today. We have so much fun. And of course, you're welcome to join us. We're always
Yes, I was
happy to
going to say
entertain
the thing. Robert,
everybody.
you're more than welcome to join us. Maybe you'll want to write a paper on it.
Well, you know what? Look, there's a couple things I can share. I
Go
know
ahead.
that whether it's sexual intercourse or masturbation, you're burning about 80 to 150 calories during that.
Oh, there you go.
That's great all by itself. I appreciate that.
That's
Yes,
a loader
absolutely.
together. Is that
I
a
love
loader
it. I
together?
love it.
Well, oh my God. Again, once again, thank you for joining us this afternoon. You know, we look
No,
forward to
thank
seeing
you. And
you.
sorry about my technical challenges I had today, but anyway, I'm
No
happy we're
problem.
able.
We're happy to have you in any
It's all
form or
good.
function.
We look forward to you joining us next Monday on that topic.
I will. You know what? Hey, I'll join in. I'll bring some information.
Oh, great. We look forward
All
to
right,
having you.
great.
You have a great day. Everybody take care. Have a great day. It was amazing having y'all here with us today.